Hey folks, I'm Patrick King with Transformative Financial. Here on this channel, we help people make money, keep money, and feel more financially secure along the way. If that's something that you're interested in, please contact me. My email is patrick@transformative-financial.com. I'd love to talk with you and see if it's a good fit. However, today I wanted to share some news with you. First off, I do have the flu, so if I sound a little different and seem a little low energy, that's why it is. PSA, get your flu shot. And no, Mom, I did not get my flu shot. And yes, you told me so. So lesson learned. Second of all, I want to thank everyone for their comments on last week's video. You made me feel great, especially this week when I was sick, talking about how dapper I looked in my sport coat. Leave me comments next time, see what any requests that you want me to wear on future videos. Maybe I'll pre-order that tuxedo at some point. But thanks to all of you for lightening up my day with that. All right, so the news that I wanted to share with you revolves around some litigation that's happened in the financial services industry. So a little quick background. You know, I've talked in past videos about the importance of working with a fiduciary financial advisor. And a fiduciary, again, if you haven't seen those videos, is someone who is legally required to put their clients' interests ahead of their own. So as a fiduciary advisor, I'm legally required to put my clients' interests ahead of mine. Now, this is a concept that's been around for centuries in the United States. To be a registered investment advisor, RIA, as it's called sometimes, it's been law that you must be a fiduciary since 1940 here in the U.S. Now, why is that important? Because you know the financial sales industry, you're brokers and insurance salesmen. Well, it's important to have those things available through a sales channel and not just an advice channel. I think those brokers and insurance agents have been positioning themselves as a source of financial advice throughout the years. So they're kind of moving into that territory of financial advice where it is legally required that you be a fiduciary. However, we all know that, or maybe you don't, that brokers and insurance agents are not always, they're not fiduciaries. I guess being a fiduciary can get in the way of closing a sale sometimes. And I think about the character Gil from The Simpsons in a lot of ways when I think about that. So, we can't have that, can we?
Shut up, Gil. Close the deal. Close the deal.
So recently the Department of Labor, or I guess it's a couple of years now, it's been a while, things have been bouncing around in the courts. So the Department of Labor instituted, easy for me to say, a fiduciary rule that would require people who deal with, who advise on retirement accounts, be fiduciaries. Basically, if you're dealing with any kind of retirement account, IRA, 401k, with a client, you're required to be a fiduciary. Well, there have been some lobbying groups that have appealed this, and so the lobbying groups for the brokers, the securities industry, and then the annuity industry sued the Department of Labor and say, hey, this doesn't need to apply to us, this fiduciary rule. It would be onerous for us to implement this, and we don't need to anyway. And what was their argument? Their argument was that in spite of calling themselves advisors in their marketing materials and on their business cards, and in their advertising, they said that, hey, we're not really advisors at all. They said that they're just salespeople who don't have, and they literally argued this, that they're salespeople that don't have a relationship of trust and confidence with their clients. So even though they hold themselves out to the public in their marketing as advisors, they really don't give advice per se, according to the law, so they shouldn't be held to the fiduciary rule. Well, guess what? They won. They won. And the appeals court said, hey, okay, you're right. Based on these definitions, the fiduciary rule doesn't apply to you. It's kind of crazy to me that you would, out of one side of your mouth complain that yes, this fiduciary rule makes it hard for us to give advice to clients as they have in advertising in the past, lobbying against the rule. And then to say in the courts, once you finally get there, that, hey, we're not really advisors at all. We're salespeople. Our clients don't expect a level of confidence and trust from us in this transaction. Therefore, we don't need to, this rule doesn't apply to us. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, either you give advice and you hold yourself out to the higher standard, or you call yourself a salesperson. Like, it's okay to be a salesperson, but don't muddy the waters like this. If you're going to be an advisor, act like one, right? So that was the news I wanted to share with you today. Obviously, it's something I'm very frustrated with and passionate about. If I've got the flu and I put on clothes and I'm not here in my pajamas to talk about this. So excuse me. All right, so my last parting thought here is, so when you watch that television commercial that says, ask your financial advisor about blah, 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 just remember, what they really mean is ask your financial salesperson about blah, blah, blah. They don't even consider themselves advisors when it's convenient for them. And when it's inconvenient for you to be an advisor and you don't call yourself one, you're not really an advisor, right? Or did I get that right? Inconvenient when you get the point. So again, folks, sorry if I've been a little incoherent this week, got under the weather. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you want more of these videos, click subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Until next time, I'm Patrick King with Transformative Financial, and cheers. Talk soon.